Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rupert Murdoch did not allow that to be printed without a lot of rigor going
Yeah.
into,
I'm sure. I'm
can
sure.
we, in a court of law, support this document?
Right.
And again, for me, I really was not shocked by it when it came out. I'm like, bleh, yeah, so he sent him a birthday card. Yeah, sounds like
Yeah.
both of them.
Well,
So what?
yeah,
But
right?
the so what is how it's affecting MAGA.
Yes, that's true.
That's the so
And
what.
if he had, because this is basically a Streisand effect, right? If he had just been like, it's a lie, that's the end of it. You just keep doubling down like he always does. This is what he does. He lies about something and then he doubles down on the lie. If he just had done that, then people would still be a little bit upset, but it would eventually go away. But now he is going to have it proven in a court of law that the document is authentic.
Welcome to another episode of the Bloomburg Democrat. I'm Sally Taylor. This is my darling, beloved brother, John Daniels. We are here to talk about another topic of the day. And this time we're going to talk about how the Trump regime consistently and really without fail attacks media, especially traditional media, but any media that doesn't toe the party line, that doesn't throw him
It's the
softball
royal ass.
questions, kiss the royal ass. Exactly.
Yeah.
That isn't in essence state media,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because that is the classic fascist move,
Hmm.
to get media under control so you can control the narrative.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
And
John,
essentially, that's what it is. He wants to be the source of truth.
right.
Right.
So, what have you been reading lately about some of the things that are currently going on with regard to this topic?
Lately, not so much, but I did read an article about comments Trump had made in relation to Stephen Colbert being. I don't even know if he was fired, if they just like canceled the show or what exactly. I mean, the article was not that specific on that half of the topic. Um, it seems that Stephen Colbert was fired perhaps after saying that the settlement that CBS paid to Trump was a big fat bribe, and really, I mean,
Do
settlements
you,
are just a terrible thing to
do you know
do.
what that
Like,
bribe was about, though?
no, I don't really have any
Okay,
clue why.
let me tell you. This makes it more interesting. So CBS is trying to merger with another company.
Hmm.
In order to do that merger, they have to have permission from the government for that
Uh-huh.
merger to be accomplished and to go through.
Sure, probably the Department of Justice or something, right?
Uh, which department is it that does it? I'll have to double check on that one. I'll put it I'll put it
Uh,
here.
okay.
But one of the departments, but essentially it needs presidential approval for all practical purposes, because Trump
Right.
basically, it's his way or the highway,
It's
right?
probably like an antitrust situation,
Yes,
though,
it has
right?
something to do with antitrust, right?
Because it's
So they
already, I
have to get
think
government approval.
Paramount already owns CBS, right?
Yes, but Paramount is trying to merge with another company. I think it's called Skydance. I'll double check and correct that if I
Okay.
need to on here.
Okay. Yeah.
And in
I think
order
they're a
for,
satellite company, satellite television or
maybe
something.
that may well
Maybe.
be, but that is worth billions of dollars to the
Hmm.
company. And
Hmm.
so it was easier to settle to appease Trump than it
Yeah.
was to go through the rest of that
Yeah,
process
sure.
of being sued and winning or losing, whatever the case may be.
So
And of course,
wait, wait, wait. Okay. Yeah, what's a
the
suit
suit
for?
that Trump, so the suit was because 60 Minutes, when they interviewed Kamala Harris, clipped a portion of one of her answers, basically to shorten it. She kind of rambled a bit and kind of restated herself a couple of times. So rather than have that rambling restatements, they clipped it out for time. Still gave her
Okay.
answer. It was still the same answer. It didn't change the answer.
Uh-huh.
But once Trump became aware of that, he was hot. Oh, they made her look better than she actually was. She was crazy and couldn't give her a decent answer. And they harmed him, he claimed, in the process of
Uh-huh.
editing that one answer.
Wow.
And so he sued them for
That
20
sounds very
billion
much like
dollars.
a snowflake trying
Right.
to make everything about them, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So anyway, rather than go through that whole process and risk that their merger might not be approved, it was
Mm-hmm.
easier to settle for $16 million, the
Mm-hmm.
majority of which would go to Trump's presidential library,
Right.
and the remainder to pay the legal fees. And there is a lot of suspicion that canceling the Late Show was a part of that agreement.
Oh yeah.
So much so
I wouldn't be
that
surprised.
the writers guild, I think, I'll double check that as well.
Mm.
It's not Colbert himself, but somebody tangential to him is now suing the Trump administration,
Oh, good.
uh, or suing somebody. Who are they suing? They've got a
Well, I would be
lawsuit.
suing Paramount and CBS as well.
Well, they ought to be. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll have to double
They're
check who they're
they're
suing. I
clearly
just.
settlers, so you'll just get
Yeah.
the money straight from them. No problem,
Yeah.
right?
But in essence, there's another suit coming, best to say that this is basically an attack on free speech,
Yeah.
which it is.
Yeah.
If canceling Colbert Show, who Trump has railed against for years because Colbert has never been kind to him,
Right.
um,
No reason to be.
no, right? If that was part of the agreement, then there should be something more done to
Yeah.
prevent political retribution
Yeah.
against companies for the free speech of their people and their programs.
Yeah. Well,
So that's why
the
it's
whole
a big
settlement
issue.
should be thrown out, and they should both be fined $16 million or whatever that fee was, and
Right.
it should go to like the I don't know what's the guild, the Writers Guild or something for journalism. What's I don't know what
Yeah.
that would be, but
Yeah. Yeah. The real thing is whether or not this can be proven to be true. I would think they're probably not so stupid as to put that part of an agreement into a document. It may, if it happened, it was
uh,
probably verbal in nature. Oh, but here was the
yeah.
thing. So CBS said that the Late Show was only canceled, and it'll be canceled in May. So he'll be working through till May if he
Hmm.
chooses to stay that long. CBS claimed that it was a purely financial decision, except for that Stephen Colbert is the highest rated show in his
Yeah, he's probably
slot.
their big money maker.
I'll be honest, it's the only thing I watch on CBS.
Nobody watches CBS. Like, what has CBS
Right,
got?
right.
Nothing.
Well, and I usually watch him from social media anyway, because they clip out the parts I don't care about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, that's
But
fine.
at
They're getting
least
the money from those
they're
watches
still
as
getting
well.
the money from that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're still getting my
Welcome to the
views.
future. Yeah.
Stephen Colbert kept me sane during the first Trump administration.
Yeah.
And it's what I go to help me laugh about all of these things that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Because if you can't laugh about it, you'll end up ripping all your hair out and curling up into
Yeah.
a ball, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So Stephen has always been really good at finding the absurdity of the situation
Yeah.
and helping people to laugh about it. Now,
Yeah.
granted, he only has about half the audience of, well, I would claim more than half, but half of the audience of the US because he has alienated most of MAGA, right? That is one of the reasons why historically most shows try to stay away from politics, you
Yeah.
know? But
Yeah.
when they
Well,
hired Colbert, he was a
he's from the Daily
political,
Show. Yeah.
right? He's from the Daily Show. He was
Yeah.
a political person, comedian to begin with, and they knew
Exactly.
that when they hired him.
Exactly. Yes. They hired him because he was popular. I mean, he had the
Yes,
Colbert Report
right,
before,
right,
the CBS report.
exactly, exactly. So he went
Yeah.
from the Daily Show to the Colbert Report to the Daily Show, or sorry, to
Yeah.
the Late Show, and
Yeah.
he's done amazingly well through all of them, and
Yes.
largely because number one, he is funny, and
Yeah.
he is a decent human being.
Yeah. Yeah. So if they're claiming that it was a purely monetary decision, they're gonna have to explain that one.
Well, to me,
Nobody's
it's
gonna believe
easily
that.
explained. It's
Yeah.
easily explained. The
Well, of
monetary
course it's easily
decision
explained.
has to do with getting the merger approved that they need. That's the
Yes,
monetary
yes.
decision.
Yes, well, that's what they're gonna have to explain, which is gonna
Yeah,
then be a problem for them.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a mess.
yeah. But the Trump administration has been this way all along. He has
Yes, they have.
attacked the media from the beginning because he has a thin skin. He does not like
Yeah,
to be criticized. He does
yeah,
not like to be asked difficult questions. So he
yeah,
attacks reporters every day.
yeah,
First asking him, who are you with? Oh, and then he defames that particular organization as being a lousy organization, or
yeah,
only a
yeah.
only a crazy, stupid person would ask a question like that. Why
Right.
would you ask such a question? You
Yeah,
know, he
yeah,
does this to reporters on a daily basis.
yeah,
He sues organizations on a daily basis, and now he's suing Rupert Murdoch.
yeah. And that's kind of
His
crazy, isn't it?
his buddy, Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, this is all tied back to the Epstein case,
I
right?
mean,
And
didn't
his associations with Epstein.
didn't Rupert Murdoch own Fox for a
Yes,
while? If
Rupert
not
Murdoch
still,
does. He
he still
does
does?
own Fox.
Right.
So he has
Right?
a whole network. He has a whole
Yeah.
network devoting to kissing Trump's butt,
Yeah.
right? On
Yeah.
a
Well,
24-hour a day basis.
you know what I would do if I were being sued by the person whose butt was being kissed by my television show, my television shows, television station? I would immediately change the content. We would not be doing that anymore. It would be something completely new
Yeah.
and probably contrary to what I had been doing up to that point.
So Rupert Murdoch owns the Wall Street Journal. And are
Yeah.
you aware with what the Wall Street Journal just recently published?
That I am not. I
Oh, John, I have
maybe if
things to
if you
tell
say
you.
it, it's gonna snap and I'll be, oh yes, that's right.
Okay.
But off the top of
Okay.
my head, I cannot.
So the Wall Street Journal just published information about a birthday letter that
Oh yes, I
Trump
did.
wrote to
I did read
Jeffrey
that.
Epstein for his 50th birthday.
Okay, I did read that. And I
And
think I even
the
heard that Trump was threatening, but I didn't know that he was actually going to sue. He
Oh
threatens and
yeah.
he sues a
No,
lot,
the
but
suit is the suit's in the works. I mean, it's already been all the
of
paperwork has
course,
gone through.
all of his
But
money that he has lost has come from lawsuits, I'm sure.
right, right. So
Yeah.
anyway, this of course is a supposed birthday letter to Jeffrey
Mhm.
Epstein from Trump. It's got this typed
Right.
script, this sort
Yeah,
of
that one.
a script of an interaction between himself and Jeffrey Epstein. And in,
A picture
I
of a
assume it's
woman's
Sharpie.
silhouette or
Yes, I
something. Yeah.
assume it's Sharpie. There's a woman's silhouette with
All
boobs,
right.
and then
Uh-huh.
Donald Trump's signature, just Donald,
Right.
down at the crotch as if it's pubic hair.
Right, right, right. I heard the
I'm not going to
description of
be
this.
able to look at Donald Trump's signature the same ever again.
It's always been a stupid looking signature
Oh my
anyway.
gosh. Yeah. But here's the thing. Rupert Murdoch would never have allowed that to be published had there not been strong provenance for it.
Right.
So, of course,
Yeah, well, I
Trump
mean
is
it's
furious
obviously
because he's,
true.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I've seen since then on YouTube, I've seen a lot of sketchy stuff that people have been posting about Trump, and some of it you kind of have to squint to make it get sketchy. I think some of it not.
yeah, yeah.
People are
Well,
seeing what they want to see. Maybe at this point, where they're all trying to find the next big scoop, but then I'm sure there's a ton of stuff out there. All you have to do is just look, and
Yeah,
it'll come pouring out.
exactly. So one of the things that Trump immediately said, "Oh, it's fake. Of course, this is fake." He said,
Right.
"I never wrote a drawing. I never wrote a picture. I can't remember
Right,
if
right,
I,
right.
I I never wrote a picture."
That's not
And
him.
so it's
He's
not
not good at
him.
it or
Couldn't be
something.
him. But then
Right.
immediately people started producing sketches that Donald Trump did regularly for charity, where he'd
Oh
draw a
yeah.
quick sketch, usually in
Yeah.
Sharpie, sign his name
Yeah.
to it, and then it would be auctioned for charity.
Yeah.
So he did that sort
I
of thing
could
quite a lot,
totally
actually.
I could totally see him sitting around sketching naked people
Right.
all day long.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What else are you gonna
I,
do when you're Donald Trump? You
well,
don't
I
read.
mean, for me, all those and most of the sketches that he has done have been like cityscapes, towers,
Hmm. Hmm.
and what does a tower symbolize to Donald Trump? I mean, think metaphorically. What
I
do
know what you're gonna say.
teenage boys carve into my art room tables on a semi-regular basis when I was teaching high school art?
That's weird.
Phallic symbols
Especially,
or
and
fallacies.
you could draw pictures of a naked woman and claim it's art, but like a
Right.
wiener? That's just
I
dumb.
had so much trouble with kids carving into my tables. Oh, you would just not
Yeah.
believe.
Well, what are you
But
giving them to
guess what?
carve
That was
with?
always boys. It was never the girls doing it. It was always the
Yeah. Well,
boys.
girls are not known for drawing penises.
No, they're
That's
not. They're
true.
not.
Especially the young ones. Like they're not that familiar. They don't really know what they look like, I guess. So,
Right. Exactly. They hadn't seen one yet.
right.
So
Maybe all the
anyway,
pictures of boobs are drawn by girls. I don't know.
no, well, no, actually, most of the naked girl pictures that would come up would also have been done by the boys.
Well, of course.
So anyway, that all of
Mm.
that juvenile artwork aside,
Mm.
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this doesn't sound like Trump. Trump wouldn't ever do this kind of thing."
Yeah.
And over again, there's evidence that he would. Somebody said, "Oh, the word enigma was used in the script portion, the typed script portion of this." And somebody
Right,
says, "Oh,
right.
he wouldn't use the word enigma." Well, then immediately people start pulling up video of him using the word enigma correctly.
Right, right. Well, it was also I remember that conversation. I thought, ugh, it's kind of cringy just how bad the writing is. Like, this is
Yeah.
not how people talk. It's
Right. But
clearly
here's the other thing.
one person
Trump
pretending.
was
Yeah,
getting ready to do The Apprentice at point. The Apprentice was probably already in production when this was
yeah,
done. And so he was very much about the script. I mean,
right.
The Apprentice was not just off the cuff language, it
Yeah,
was scripted. And
yeah,
so he was very excited about being a part of this sort of Hollywood, TV personality
right,
world.
right.
So it makes perfect sense to me that it was in script. It makes, I mean, the context of it sounds like two guys who were buddies for 15 years, and one of them happened to have a underage sex ring, trafficking, child
Yeah,
pornography ring, kind of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, I think I don't know if you're reading. I just to be fair, not fair to
Sure,
Trump because I don't think anybody needs to be fair to Trump, but I just to be fair to myself. Like when I read
sure.
this thing, I thought, well, this is really shitty writing. Like these people, whoever wrote this doesn't know how to write. But I think it's the kind of writing that you can kind of read anything into it if you really wanted to, just because it was so vague and it doesn't say anything. Like, so yes, it could be about his sexual exploits with underage people, but it might not be. You know, I
Sure.
can't
It's
I can't just
vague.
look at this and say, well, this is clearly about sex because it's not
No,
clearly about sex.
no,
It's
no. I agree with you.
especially if it's two friends that have been friends for a long time, they have their stupid inside jokes that are clearly not funny, but they think that it's clever or something, you know? And
And
it could just
secrets
be
are
that.
Right, sure, but secrets are specifically mentioned. I agree with you, John.
Right.
It is not specific, right?
Right. Right.
But within the
But the people involved.
context,
Yes.
within
Yes.
the
I understand.
context of who it was between,
Yeah.
some logical conclusions can probably be safely drawn.
Safely.
Probably.
I don't know. Probably.
Probably.
I mean, you can draw
Probably.
conclusions. Yes. And you may even be right about those conclusions.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not a smoking gun, that's for sure. Like,
No, it's not, but it's very
it's nothing to get
incriminating.
that upset about. I don't know. I don't even think it's very incriminating. It's
Well,
just
when
a
I
matter
first,
of, it's the court of public opinion, basically.
right. Well,
So if
that's
you
it.
say it's about this and people are going to say, oh, you're right, it is about that. And maybe it's not. And maybe it is. I don't know.
When I first saw it, I also went, sounds like Trump.
Yeah.
But it didn't change my mind about anything that I didn't
Oh,
feel like
no.
I already knew.
They're both terrible people who
Right.
are abusing women. Like,
Right.
that's clear. We all know
The
that.
impact that it's having, though, is on his MAGA base.
Yeah.
Those are the people who are having all of the cognitive dissonance around what is this? What does it mean? Have I been lied to? And why are they not bringing out all of the evidence from the files?
Yeah.
Like we
Right.
had
Well,
this
oh, see,
discussion last week.
and I think this, yeah, and again, I think this is the crux of the situation is that he's promised them something that they can remember, and now he's not giving them that promise, and it was an important promise to them.
Right.
And if he can't understand that, he's an idiot. And if they can't realize that he's clearly lying, then they're idiots. I mean, he's right on that point. They're weak and stupid. Come on,
Well, he's
people.
called them that now
He's a
because they
liar.
won't let it
Yes.
go.
Yes. I know.
He's called
I
his
know
own
why
people
he's
weak and
called him
stupid.
that. He's called him that because he's weak and stupid and he's just projecting like he always does. But I mean, if you truly cannot see that he's lying to you and he's always been lying, then it's probably true. And he says he doesn't want those supporters, but I mean that's who got him elected. He banked on having people who can't see the truth to vote him into power. And so I guess maybe he's just considering he's never going to have a third term, and so now he can burn the bridges or what? I don't know.
So let me bring this full circle, though,
He's
because we
probably just
started
not
out
thinking
talking about
clearly.
the media.
Yeah.
He has purposefully tried to have everybody question what is true and what is not by undermining the organizations that we relied on for decades to tell
Hmm.
us the truth.
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a bad thing. We should
Well,
constantly question everything
sure, we
and
should
question
constantly question.
what we consider to be the
Absolutely.
truth. Yeah.
Absolutely, we should. You're right with that. But the fact is that at one time, and it's been a while since it's been that way, but at one time, journalists held themselves to a high standard for accuracy and for being somewhat uh, apolitical in
Yeah.
their presentation of that information that
I
they
think that
felt
was
was
definitely
newsworthy.
true of some people.
Right.
Um, but I think we may be seeing the past through rose-colored glasses here. We're because we of the situation we find ourselves now with Fox News, which is not
Mm-hmm.
news. It's just
Mm-hmm.
commentary. And I don't know how they can still put news into the title of the channel when they have like maybe 30 minutes of actual news per day.
Right.
And so given what we're currently seeing, we may look back and say, "Oh, those were such great times when everybody was telling the truth and just sticking to the facts and blah
Well,
blah blah."
and
blah."
I'm not saying
But
everybody, but John,
it
we
was
had
probably
people
not
like
like that.
we had people
Like,
like Walter Cronkite, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah, I
he
don't really know
had
Walter Cronkite that much. Was he really telling the truth, or was he just saying things that everybody now thinks was the truth and it was lies all along? I don't know.
no, I think well, of course he did present from an American perspective for sure.
Right.
But it was certainly also during a time when we were far less divided in our
Mm,
own beliefs, our own ways of seeing the world. Not that there
mm,
weren't certain divisions that were still atrocious, because the civil rights movement was still hot and heavy, as it should have been, and
right.
there were a lot of things that were still not good in our country.
Right.
But both sides of the aisle were able to listen to the information that was provided around those topics, and nobody felt attacked in the process. It was
Hmm.
just stating the events of the day, usually
Yeah.
without much in the way of any additional commentary to go
Well,
with
maybe
it.
these days we have a lot more people who are doing things that they feel ashamed of, perhaps. Right? People in government saying and doing things that they don't want people to know that they're saying and doing on the floor of Congress. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
So maybe we're dealing with a new crowd, and maybe the news is not so very different. I don't know. I'm skeptical anytime when somebody starts talking about the good old days, because our memories are so subjective. Like, we
Sure.
forget the bad stuff. Remember the good stuff, right? That's just a
Well,
human
hopefully we
thing.
historically document the bad stuff, though.
Yeah,
Hopefully
you
we
would you would
do.
hope so,
I
but
mean,
then do we
history
actually
is written
read
by the
history?
winners,
Yes,
but
it
we've
is.
got people now on the right trying to rewrite history,
Yes. Well,
trying to
they're trying to be the
take out
winners.
the things, right? Well, they're trying to take out the things that they're ashamed of. They're trying to
Yeah.
take out the things that don't show them in the best light, even now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why I think there's so much upheaval within media in general. And of course, with social media and the fact that more people get their news from social media now than from
Yeah.
actual traditional news sources.
Yeah.
We are in the wild, wild west of
Yeah.
news.
Yeah. I don't know.
and,
We, we,
and
we
I will
always
come back.
romanticize the Wild Wild West, right?
It's why we've got to change our education system along with
Oh,
it, though.
yes.
The biggest
Yes.
thing is to teach children media literacy,
Yep.
how to determine what's true and what's not true, how to
Yep.
go down the rabbit hole.
Right.
I see stuff all the time online that might support my viewpoint, but if it
Yeah.
seems a little outrageous, I go look it up to
Yeah.
see, is this true? Is this being reported by multiple sources across a wide range of organizations?
Right.
And then I'll
And
go,
go
okay,
ahead
maybe that's true.
and look at the opposing point of view just to see what they might be saying
Of
about it too,
course.
right?
Of
Yeah.
course. Of
Yeah.
course, as part of it. But you've got to be able to assess what you're looking at now, because
Yep.
there is so much information going out in the world, and so much of it is opinion, just like our little
Yeah.
chat right here. This is an
Yes.
opinion.
This is all
There's
opinion.
things that I don't have the exact details of as we're
Yep.
having this discussion. If I can look it
Yep.
up and add it to the bottom of the screen, I'll do it. But there's some
Yep.
stuff you're going to want to go look up for yourself.
Yes, please go look up everything I say.
Please.
My memory is not what it used to be. I used to remember everything. And these days, oh, I feel like whenever I try to remember something new, something pops right out the back.
Right.
I'm getting old.
You're not that old yet, John.
No,
I
but
got some years
I can
on you.
feel it. I can feel it creeping up though.
Well, thank you again for an interesting discussion. As usual, no real conclusions to draw at this point, other
Yeah.
than just encouragement for people to be conscious about the media that they consume. It
Yes.
is under attack for sure by the current
Yes.
administration in ways that's never happened before. Perhaps some good will come out of it, as well as the
Yeah.
negative things that we do seem to concern ourselves with.
Yeah.
So,
Let's hope so.
all
There's
right.
got to be
Well,
some
let's
reforms coming down the road one of these days,
I
right?
I think for sure. I think once this
Yeah.
particular regime is out of control of the government,
Yeah.
there will be some laws. There had better be some laws passed
Yes, and
to
some sweeping
correct.
laws. Make
Yes,
sure this type of thing doesn't happen again on either
doesn't
side.
happen again. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we need to reinforce our checks and balances and probably add in a few more checks and a few more balances.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If you enjoyed this content, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.